All right, welcome back to the channel. This is for a subscriber. I have on the lift a Jet 9 subscriber. Asked me to go over it. They purchased a couple of these. They're out of the area, and I said I'd go over it, create a video. So let's dive into this. I'm going to go over all the working parts and service areas that I do recommend. Let's start with, of course, the wheels, you guys. Always check the hubs, make sure they're nice and tight. Now that's during your break-in service. Now if you put it together, you guys, you definitely still want to do that break-in service. Make sure your cotter pins are on nice and tight as shown over here. Make sure they're bent back properly. And then the rear as well. As you can see here, the rear. Now keep in mind, you guys, when you do your own PDI, make sure you put a little bit of grease on the splines here before you put on the wheels. It's very, very important to do. And all the nuts and bolts you want to check, make sure everything's nice and tight. So you have it all together and you've driven it for a few hours. Make sure you do a full service after that. I mean, that includes engine oil, spark plug, and fuel filter. Okay, so spark plug wise, NGK CR7HSA is what we recommend to upgrade to. This is your spark plug cable here and plug that goes in here. So you put this back in here. Of course, this is your carburetor. We do recommend using a Dremel because these are capped off. This is your idle up here, and this is your mixture screw. These come capped from the manufacturer. You can always buy an aftermarket carburetor, which does not have these capped off. So they're ready to adjust. This is your oil check on this side, you guys. It takes just shy of a quart of oil. Always use high-grade oil. Don't be cheap with the oil, you guys. You could unscrew this lightly, check it there at the hash mark, you wipe it down nicely, you double check it by dipping it in, and to check it, make sure it's nice and accurate. Again, it takes just shy of a quart of oil. You don't want to fill it over that hash mark line. Let's walk around here. This is the foot brake that operates the rear brake. The rear disc brake is shown here. Then on the front you do have drum brakes. I'm going to lower it off the lift here in a second. Do just want to show you around it, of course. This is your badge here with the manufacturer, then your VIN number on here as well. Now these shocks on here, they do have dampener adjusters, so you can buy a spanner or use another tool that allow you to adjust this down so it dampens as well. Now you can adjust the toe on these, you guys, not the camber on this model. On some of the other premium models, Apollo for instance, you can adjust the camber, but the toe here you can adjust. And that is over here, you guys. Now, I do have videos on everything I'm showing you guys here on the other units because all the fundamentals are the same. So this right here is your tie rod. You can loosen the inside nut as well as this nut. This allows you then to rotate this here, counterclockwise or clockwise, adjusting the toe, you guys, making sure that the toe is aligned properly so you wear the tires properly. We'll continue walking around. Again, the fronts have dampeners. The rear has a dampener as well, as shown here, where my finger is at. Just make sure everything's nice and tight. It's pretty cool. They're including this little tire pressure gauge right now in the back of it. Let's see what else we have here. This is your lanyard. Always make sure that's plugged in properly. If it's not starting your ATV, maybe this has been pulled out. So always keep that in mind, you guys. Now adjusting your chain, you guys. You want to loosen the carrier over here. This right here where my finger's at's the carrier. Now I have numerous videos on how to adjust my chain. But the basics again, you guys, there's two lower nuts here on the inside and then these two upper nuts. You want to loosen these. It loosens the carrier. Then what you want to do is you want to back out these two nuts right here on this here. Allows you to move that carrier, the axle, laterally here, adjusting the chain, and you retighten up. Again, I have numerous videos on how to adjust my chain on my Chinese ATV, you guys. This right here is for that rear parking brake feature now they're offering on most of the VITACCI and Apollos. Again, this takes a 12 millimeter. This is adjusting your rear parking brake. You back this out. The further you turn this in, it tightens up the brake as needed. Always keep that in mind, as needed. So again, your rear brakes are the hydraulic, and then your front are drum brakes on this here. Again, nice looking bike. These are the base model by VITACCI, you guys. It's the Jet 9. And let's see what else I could show you guys here. Again, this is the shifter, you guys. So it's fully automatic. This allows you to shift reverse, as well as you got a neutral position, and then you have your forward position. Now this side is your electrical alternator side, you guys. Never put oil down here. I've had a few customers that poured some oil in here. You guys, please do not do that. This is your alternator system over here, so make sure you do not pour any oil here, but this is where you would pull out your stator system, as they call it. This is your fuel shutoff. Always use 91. This is where you shut off your fuel. This is on, fully on. This is your choke, you guys. For a cold start, you have it up, and then once it warms up, you slowly bring it down and allow it to warm up for a few more minutes, and you're good to go. This is your electrical box, CDI box here, you guys. Okay, so it looks like I covered pretty much everything here that it's on its lift, you guys. So again, just go through it. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Make sure it's snug. Don't cross-thread anything. Just take your time. Very important to do that break-in service. Even after those of you at home that do your own setup, make sure that you do that break-in service. So we're going to lower it off the lift here and go over a few more stuff over here. Make sure you check that rear rack on it as well. Use 91 gasoline on it. Keep lowering it down here so we get access to the front brakes and then the rear brakes, and I'll give it a start. Okay, you guys, so always make sure that that's plugged in on the Jet 9. Now this is your key switch over here. They do include a remote shutoff. This remote shutoff here, this blue, to shut it, you kill it, and then you have to reset it with the gray, otherwise it won't start again. So you put your key in, you walk up. Now keep in mind, you either have to activate and engage the starter, you either step on the rear foot brake, as shown here, or you pull in the handbrake. What I like doing, particularly when it's cold, is you lock that front brake in place, and allows you to come to the other side over here, and to mess with that choke as you're pressing the starter button right here. All right, now so you have to either have this one, or the foot brake to engage the starter, otherwise it will not start. This is just the rear parking brake that we just talked about adjusting. So we're going to make sure that we deactivate that, make sure your switch is on, and then we'll give it a start. Okay, so we didn't have to use the choke because I did have it warmed up a little bit. But again, if you did have to use the choke, you guys, you would use this, pull this up, allow it to warm up, and then as it warms up and it reaches a good steady idle, you bring it down, allow it to warm up for a few more minutes, and then you're good to go. That is your choke. Make sure this is always down, otherwise the ATV will not function properly. And we have the neutral position as shown. That red one over here, my finger's at, that shows and lights up when you're in reverse. There is no indicator for forward gear on the Jet 9. Let's walk around here for the seating. We'll pull up the seat. As you notice here, there's a latch over here. This is the lever here you release. It's a 12-volt battery here. This is where your fuse is at, you guys. So if you ever have, let's say, a dead ATV, there's nothing going on, always make sure you check your fuse. I mean, if it's completely dead and it's not turning on, that you get no lights at all or anything, make sure that you check that fuse. That fuse could be bad or just been blown out. So we'll walk around here and I'll show you how that remote works. Again, as shown here, here's your remote. Press that, press the gray for reset, and then it allows you to restart it. So hopefully this helps you guys out there. Again, this is for my subscribers out there that purchased a few of these. You wanted me to go over it. So I think I touched on all the necessary concerns you had and questions you had about your new Jet 9. It's a great base model ATV for kids. It's the 125cc Jet 9 fully automatic. It's a kids / teenagers or even just a small rider quad by VITACCI, you guys. So hope all is well. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have further questions, just let me know. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care.